As you guys are well aware, I play a lot of Nintendo Switch games, and I play a lot of Nintendo Switch indie games. I get a lot of codes for these games, and I enjoy checking them out and playing them, but sometimes I don't have a chance to make a dedicated video on these games because there's only so many hours in a day. But I like to do little compilation videos where I talk about recent Nintendo Switch eShop games that I've been playing that you may be interested in, and in today's video, that's what I want to do. I want to take a look at some new Nintendo Switch eShop games that I've been playing recently that I think deserve a little chance to shine, games that not a lot of people are talking about that maybe they should be talking about. Also, we're going to take a look at a box of retro game treasure. So I got some new retro games sent to me, so I'm definitely curious to see what's inside of there. And then finally, we're going to take a look at Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, the collector's edition from Limited Run Games, because this just came in and I'm very excited to show it off. So it's kind of a smorgasbord video, but I don't think that's a bad thing. You're just getting more content. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about some of the new Nintendo Switch eShop games that I've been enjoying.
Hey, RGT85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! So the first game I want to talk about is an ugly game. It is a clunky game. It is a game that doesn't control all that great. The combat is very slow. Some of the missions can be very confusing, and I know what you're saying to yourself, well, RGT, I thought these were games that you enjoyed playing, new games that we should be checking out. And this is a game you should be checking out because it's designed with that in mind. And this game is called Back in 1995. Now, Back in 1995 is touted as a PlayStation era survival horror game, but I don't really see it quite as that, because when you think of survival horror on the PlayStation, you of course think of games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and I think this game is a bit earlier than those games. I sort of view this game as an Alone in the Dark style of game, you know, a PC style survival horror game that came out in like 1993 or 1994, but really it's just an old school survival horror game. It plays very clunky, it has tank controls, it has fixated camera angles, but still I like it because I enjoy retro survival horror games like this. You guys might remember a game called Vaccine that I was one of the few only people who really liked that game. It was like me and Impact Game Station who enjoyed that game. Everyone else thought it was crap, but it's still fun to play old school survival horror games, and I think Back in 1995 really captures the moment of those survival horror games from back in that time frame. It's slow, it's clunky, the combat is all over the place, and you're gonna die a bunch, but if you like retro survival horror games, I think it's a game worth checking out. Sticking with retro stuff, let's talk about Gunlord X. Now, Gunlord X originally was a fan project that released on the Neo Geo as Gunlord. It was then ported over to the Sega Dreamcast as Gunlord, and now we have Gunlord X, which is the enhanced version of the game for the Nintendo Switch. And let me tell you, this game kicks ass. I'm having a blast with this game, but I'm getting my ass kicked because it is very, very hard. Gunlord X is essentially a 2D side-scrolling platformer where you're exploring different areas, blasting through waves of enemies, and you have a bunch of different weapons that you can pick up and power up as you're playing through the game. You can also do a spinball mechanic to get under lower areas to get to different items and get to different areas within the game. The enemies are all very big. The graphics are very beautiful. There's a lot of cool scrolling going on in the background, and the music is absolutely top notch. I really love it. But the game is hard. The game is hard as hell. You can basically get more continues by acquiring these big pink diamonds within the levels, but still, even with continues, the game can be very, very challenging. But it does have a progression system where once you defeat a level, you can then access the next level from the menu of the system, and there's some cool side-scrolling shoot-'em-up style levels mixed into this game as well. It's definitely a different, interesting combination of genres, but I really like this game. If you're a fan of tough-as-nails platformers and just old-school retro games in general, I think Gunlord X definitely needs to be on your list. If not for anything else, just the music. It's so damn good. Alright, so before we talk about the next game, let's check out a box of Retro Game Treasure, since we just talked about two retro-style games. If you're not familiar with Retro Game Treasure, basically, it is a monthly subscription service where you sign up on their website, you put in what games you have, you put in what systems you want to collect for, and they send you 3 to 5 games every month. It's definitely not a service for everyone, but I do like the fact that it tracks what games they've sent you before, so you can avoid duplicates, and like I said, you can add games to your collection so that you don't get sent duplicates of stuff that you already own. Not really for everyone, but if you're someone out there who just likes grab bags and things like that, it is definitely enjoyable. They send me a free box every month to check out, and so let's check out what's in here. You know I have to stare into your soul as I open the box because I like surprises. All right, the first game we have feels like a Genesis game, and it is Primal Rage. This game, it hasn't aged all that well. I always thought Primal Rage was fun, but the controls in the game were just not very fun to me. It's not a bad game, but it's definitely a game that I don't think is all that great. It's not anything I want to see ever come back necessarily, but you know, it was cool. You could like fart and pee as the monkey character Chaos in this game, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, Primal Rage on the Genesis. Don't have it, so now I do. Next up, we have a disc game, and this is Star Lancer for the Dreamcast, done by Crave Entertainment. It is missing the back side of it, but it does have the manual, and I know absolutely nothing about this game. So if you know about Star Lancer, let me know about it in the comments down below. I've never heard of this game, so hey, you know, that's cool. I like games that I haven't ever heard of before, so I'll check it out. And the final game is a boxed game, feels like Genesis Master System. Ooh, a box copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, I actually have a loose copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, but I did not have a box copy. So it does not have the manual, but it is nice to have the box copy because this game has been getting up there in price. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a very interesting game, and I'm glad I could talk about it very briefly because a lot of people have been asking me, why hasn't Sonic the Hedgehog 3 been announced for the Sega Genesis Mini? Why wasn't it on the Sega Genesis collection? Well, a little known fact about this game is that a certain person named Michael Jackson actually worked on the soundtrack to this game. And have you noticed that ever since Michael Jackson passed away, this game hasn't been released on any compilations since then? And I feel like this game is somehow tied up in Michael Jackson's legal stuff and, you know, his estate as far as being able to use this game. So that's why I think we haven't seen Sonic the Hedgehog 3 on any compilations since his passing, because it used to be all over the place. But Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I mean, what can you say about this game? It's absolutely awesome. So not a bad haul. We got Primal Rage, we got a box copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and some Dreamcast game I've never heard of. If you're interested in Retro Game Treasure, there is a link in the description box down below where you can sign up and get some games sent to you. I don't get any kickback from you guys signing up. They do send me a box every month though to check out. So moving right back into the Nintendo Switch eShop games, another game that I've been checking out is another horror game. And this is a game called Darkwood. Now, Darkwood actually released on Steam a couple years ago. It was showcased in the latest Nindy Showcase presentation, but it was a game that I just honestly wasn't too interested in. Top-down survival horror stuff just doesn't really interest me because I feel like it's not very scary. So I wasn't going to check out this game, but I ended up getting a review copy of the game sent to me via email, and I'm glad I decided to check it out because it's actually a really fun game. It is a survival horror game in the sense that you have to survive. There's a day and night cycle, and basically during the day you're going out trying to gather different resources, and at night is when all the craziness starts. That's when all the mutants come out, all the enemies, and you're having to board up windows, set bear traps so they don't come into your house, get things like gas in order to run a generator, to have lamps in your house. There's a deep crafting system as well. It's a very scary game. Like, I didn't expect to be scared of a top-down game, but this game definitely scared me. There were times where I jumped a few times when I'm searching through the darkness and an enemy comes across me and ends up nearly killing me. You're gonna die a lot in this game, and it does have an actual interesting story as well. You meet different characters along the way who basically give you different quests that sort of flesh out what's going on in the world around you. If you're a fan of survival games, I think Darkwood is a no-brainer in my opinion. It definitely has a lot of survival stuff, a lot of crafting stuff, and the fact that it's a horror game just makes it even cooler. So Darkwood on the Switch, definitely a game worth checking out. Alright, so before we talk about the final Nintendo Switch game that I've been playing lately, let's take a look at Bloodstained Curse of the Moon Collector's Edition from Limited Run Games. This game was absolutely awesome. It was designed as an offshoot for the Bloodstained Ritual of the Night game done by Inti Creates, but they did such a fantastic job. It was like the sequel to Castlevania 3 in my opinion, as far as how the game played. Just a fantastic game. So when they announced a collector's edition for it, I knew I had to have it. Like, I just wanted to play this game again, and I liked all the physical goodies that came with it. You could see that it is designed after an NES box, so that is automatically a win in my opinion. So let's open this bad boy up and see what comes inside. So it does have a little sleeve cover here, as you can see, and then you open this up and you have a box that you then have to open up the box. All right, so we have lots of goodies here. First up, we have a map / poster. A dual-sided poster. So as you can see here, here is one side of the poster. I think I like this side of the poster better. I think this looks a little cooler. But very cool. And then oh, this is badass. The NES style sleeve for the game. Absolutely love that. That is cool. And then of course we have the game itself. We'll go ahead and open it, even though I have this game digitally, so I don't really need to open it, but I want to see what's inside. We have the cartridge, we have some beautiful artwork, and an instruction booklet showing the different characters you play as in the game or different characters you come across in the game. So, you know, pretty simple stuff. There is one more thing here. We have the CD soundtrack of the game. Absolutely awesome music as well. So very cool stuff here, you know, pretty simple, but I definitely like it. This was something I really wanted. I wanted, you know, Inti Creates to get more money for this game because it's only like a $10 game. This was like a $60 collection, but very, very cool stuff. I'm definitely glad I have this, and it is one of the few limited run games, limited edition things that I own now. And the final Nintendo Switch eShop game that I've been playing lately is a game called Thief Simulator. Now, Thief Simulator was actually very popular on Steam about a year or so ago. A lot of big streamers were playing this game, and then of course, like most streaming titles, they moved on to another game. But Thief Simulator is actually very fun. It's a pseudo sandbox game in which you have to break into people's houses and do different tasks. And I know that sounds terrible, but it's a game and it's kind of fun. You basically can stake out different people, you can learn more information on them via a computer system in the game, and then you're tasked with having to do different things. You either have to steal certain items or break certain items in their house, all without getting caught. And I really like the game. It's actually a lot of fun. There's different neighborhoods that you can visit and different people that you come across. And if you get caught, basically the cops are coming to get you. So you gotta hide or try to escape in your car and get to the area outside of the map so they don't show up. There's a lot of cool things going on though. There's a lot of different upgrades to buy for your character. There's a lot of different equipment you can buy for your character as well. So there's hours and hours and hours of fun with the game. It doesn't run, you know, super great. It's not like a great sandbox game, but I think for what it is a hell of a lot of fun. It's definitely a very unique experience on the Nintendo Switch, and I don't think I've ever played a game quite like this before that was just focused on being a thief. So if you've ever wanted to be a thief, but you don't want the law on your ass, this is a game to definitely check out. Alright, so that was some Nintendo Switch eShop games that I've been playing lately, a look at Retro Game Treasure for the month, and a look at the Bloodstained Curse of the Moon limited edition from Limited Run Games. Let me know what you think of everything in the comments section down below. Do you subscribe to Retro Game Treasure? Did you pick up this Curse of the Moon Collector's Edition? And of course, have you played any of these games, or are you going to be checking out any of these eShop games that I talked about in this video? And as always guys, thanks for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.